My name is Murray from London, Ontario, Canada, and I get to be the first caller ever on The Lab with Leo Laporte.
Hey, how are you? Good to see you. It's The Lab with Leo Laporte, episode numero uno. You're here for the grand premiere. I am Leo Laporte, and I want to say, hey, look at this. This is kind of cool. We already got a Lab with Leo mug. I was saying we need a Lab with Leo mug. This is from Howie Wu at WooTunes.com, and thank you, Howie, for making me that very attractive. Look how good looking I am in there. That's good, huh? Let's say hi to Kate Abraham. Kate is going to be fielding the calls for us.
Yeah,
it's
hi.
good to see you.
You too.
You got some stuff for me today?
I do, actually. There's your rundown for today.
Oh, everything we need to know. Our first call of the day. Everything. Oh, we got a great show coming up for you. Oh, this is exciting.
There's some good callers today.
All right.
Some really good callers.
Coming up, we're going to get, because it's our first episode. Thank you, Kate. It's our first episode. We're going to bring in some call for helpers from days gone by. Kat Schwartz is here. She's now the tech mommy. She's going to talk about using Skype for video calls. Also, Chris Perillo, who hosted Call for Help for a full year, is going to show us a whole new way to get video on the net. It's kind of a rebirth of Tech TV in many ways on the internet. It's called undo.tv. And Ryan Ewell is going to inaugurate his Ewell's Jewels. Ryan is one of our team members. He's going to be doing Open Office and Neo Office. That should be a lot of fun. That's coming up. A great show for you. But, Kate, I'm ready for our first call of the day. It looked like Murray, yeah?
We are heading back to London, Ontario for Murray.
Thank you, Kate. Hello, Murray.
Hi, Leo. I want to be the first to say congratulations and best wishes for a really successful new show.
There he is. I am so grateful. Thank you very much. We're really thrilled that you could be here. Sorry we kept you on hold for so darn long.
That's okay.
But we had a chance to look at all your guitars back here. Are you a collector?
No, I'm a musician. I play. That's what I do. I'm a songwriter, musician guy.
What kind of music?
I'm a folk musician, I guess, at heart.
That's great. That's wonderful. I'm glad that, this is a good time to be a musician.
Well, it's wonderful, and I do home recording and all my stuff in Photoshop, and I wish I would have had it 20 years ago.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, it's really a revolution. Well, that's great. It's nice to see you and have you on the show. What can I do for you?
Well, I'm reformatting my hard drive. I've got about a 3-year-old Dell, and I wanted to partition it so I could put my programs on one, Windows on another, and my documents on another partition. Windows seems to automatically put everything onto the C drive.
It does.
And I tried to move things around a little bit, and it won't let me do that. So I want to know, really, should I be doing that? I mean, with my software, would it be advantageous for me to run my software for recording on a different partition?
No, I do that. I think you're right to do that. In fact, really, from day one of computing, most experts have always said keep the operating system separate from your data. That way, if you want to reinstall the operating system or anything, your data shouldn't be on the same spot. And it's only because of DOS and Windows DOS heritage that we even have it that way. And of course, nowadays with multiple hard drives, more and more people want to do this. Often people will partition the drive, a single drive, or they'll have multiple hard drives. Windows makes this fairly easy. You want to change the My Documents folder, you right-click on My Documents. This is true in, by the way, XP and Vista. You go to Properties, and you'll see right there the target. Now, you can't just move the drive. You have to tell Windows, because this is actually, the My Documents drive folder isn't even really a folder. It's a magic place. So you have to tell it, I want it to be here. And you can even move it to another drive if you want. And it'll copy the drive over, and it'll be now, let's say I wanted to put it on my a different partition. You can actually move it, and it'll remember that. Most of the special drives, like My Pictures, special folders, I should say, like My Pictures, same thing. Actually, you know what? It looks like this one might not be able to do that. So when you get to a folder that can't, then the next thing you do is you get a program called Tweak UI. Have you heard of Tweak UI?
I have it. Okay, it's in there. All right.
Yep. Tweak UI lets you change all the special folders. So once you've installed Tweak UI, and by the way, let me just show you how you find it. It's really easy. You go to Google. I love this. You go to Google.com and you type TWEAKUI, and then you press I'm feeling lucky. And it'll be the very first thing. It's one of the Microsoft Power Toys. It's over here on the right. You might want to look at some of these other ones. They're all very useful. These are programs Microsoft offers without support. Tweak UI is a very useful tool. I don't think there is an analogous tool on Vista. I think it's really XP. We'll have to see what they plan to do with Vista.
I did that for like ClearType and things like that. So
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah,
in Tweak UI, if you go to My Computer, Special Folders, you'll see that there are some of them you can, as I said, do by just right-clicking and select properties, but you'll see that there are quite a few of these on here. There's CD burning, there's desktop, there's document templates, favorites, installation path, my documents, my music, my pictures, programs, and on and on and on. You can move everything. One thing I don't recommend moving is your applications. The applications really want to stay in the Windows directory, and I'll tell you why. If something goes wrong with your operating system, you have to reinstall them anyway. You can't just reinstall Windows and have the applications be on another directory. And frankly, even when you tell Windows that your applications, your programs folder is somewhere else, Windows gets applications get very confused frequently. So my suggestion is live with the fact that your applications can't live somewhere else. Put them in the C drive with the Windows. But you can put the documents, the music, everything else can be somewhere else.
How big should I make the C drive in Windows XP?
Oh, that's a good question. How big does it need? Certainly, it doesn't need more than 10 gigs, believe it or not.
Okay.
I think that'd be plenty. How big is your drive?
It's 120 gigs, so I've got lots.
What you have to ask is, Windows itself can live in 5 gigs, but what you have to ask is how many applications you're going to install. And if since you're putting the applications in the same folder, you could need hundreds of gigs. If you install, World of Warcraft or, something giant, you could need a lot of space. So what I would suggest is think about how big your applications are going to be. You've got couple hundred gigs of a hard drive. Take half of it for Windows, let's say. And then I would put, since you're doing music, I would have a second hard drive for media, which would be video, music, or pictures. But particularly anytime you're editing, whether it's video or audio, that should be on a separate, clean, unused drive so that you don't have fragmentation issues and so forth. That's your work drive. That should be a separate drive, and then you can...
Separate drive or a separate partition?
Drive.
Drive, okay.
And that is because, think about how a hard drive works. The head has to move back and forth from Windows application to data, Windows application. That's going to slow you down. If you have it on a separate drive, you can work asynchronously. I'm reading the music here, I'm reading Windows here, no problem.
Okay.
So
it's hyper-threading. It's hyper-threading I've got, so that should handle that. Okay.
Exactly. And that's what we're talking about there is we're really talking about the fact that of editing video and audio. Very demanding, big files, moving a lot of data, video particularly, audio less so. But I always keep my audio kind of on a separate, a work drive. Once it's edited, once it's done, you can keep it anywhere you want. You can keep it on the same partition. It's while you're editing. Pro Tools, what do you use? You use Pro Tools?
Sorry, I've got a separate USB storage drive. Would that do it? Okay.
Well, no, that's more for backup. It's not fast enough.
Okay.
I'll tell you what I do. You can decide. What program are you using to edit?
It's Nuendo.
Okay, I don't know that one. Oh, Nuendo. Yeah, I do know that one. Okay.
It's like Cubase.
Yeah. I think, in audio it's not as critical, but I think it wouldn't hurt. What I do is I buy a small but fast Raptor. It's a Western Digital Raptor. It's a 10,000 RPM drive, and that's what I do my audio and video editing on.
Okay.
That way it's most responsive, right? Mm-hmm. And then I move it off that drive to save it. So that drive's always empty.
And that's where I put my recording files. The files I'm recording.
Your work files, as you're recording. Okay. You don't want it to glitch while you're recording.
No.
Right? You want it to keep up.
Right.
Hey, thanks, Murray. Thank you for being our first call.
And thanks for taking my call. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Good. Send us some music. We'll play it on the show.
I will do that, Leo.
We'll give you a big plug. And go see him in London. He plays at pubs and clubs.
Winks. Winks Pub.
Wink Pub?
Winks Pub.
Winks. Winks Pub.
They just got a cheap plug there.
Yeah, very cheap. Free. Hey, thank you. Take care, Murray. I appreciate it. Winks Pub in London. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Kat Schwartz. She's going to talk about using Skype for free video calls anywhere in the world. You stay right here.